The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Indeed, a pun, fall with a fall saying. And coincidentally, with the harbinger of fall, today is Vijayadashami and also another important event for us, the New York Road Runners Half Marathon in Staten Island. For those who do not know, the New York Road Runners NYRR TCS New York City Marathon is a world renowned race that takes place annually in November. The marathon course winds through all five boroughs of New York City, starting in Fort Wadsworth on Staten Island and finishing in Central Park. So today early morn we are in Staten Island where my son will run the half marathon and the runners start on the Verrazano Narrow Bridge. The NYRR Marathon features runners of all ages and abilities, including professional athletes, competitive runners, recreational runners, and charity runners. The course is lined with millions of spectators and 10,000 volunteers. Now, over the past 50 years, the New York City Marathon has grown from a local road race held entirely in Central Park to the world's largest marathon. Now, the race will take runners through all five boroughs of New York City, starting on the Verrazano Narrows Bridge on Staten Island and passing through Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, and the Bronx before finishing in Central Park. And watching these marathons have been a learning experience for me, and I also participated in one of the marathons. Run when you can, walk if you have to, crawl if you must, but just never give up. And what I have learned from my son, who is a marathoner, is that love yourself for who and what you are, protect your dream, and develop your talent to the fullest extent. If you run, you are a runner. It doesn't matter how fast or how far. It doesn't matter if today is your first day or if you've been running for 20 years. There is no test to pass, no license to earn, no membership card to get in. You just run.
Our band Cortland Cross Country Series. If you want something fun to do on New Year's Eve,
and in marathons or half marathons, it doesn't matter whether you come in first, in the middle, or the pack, or last. You can say, I have finished, and there is a lot of satisfaction in that. And running releases more than just sweat. Never limit where running can take you. I mean that geographically, spiritually, and of course, physically. The atmosphere electric at Staten Island, and it's such an exhilarating experience. Today is a very special day for us, the auspicious Vijayadashami, that is the fourth day of Durga Puja, where you bid adieu to the goddess Durga, as well as the half marathon that we are witnessing. Can you see the sea of marathoners just behind me? And this is the kind of atmosphere that I'm experiencing here at Staten Island, and proud of my son who is going to participate in the marathon. Finishing a marathon is a state of mind that says anything is possible. And watching these athletes, I feel that running is the greatest metaphor for life, because you get out of it what you put into it. Everything you ever wanted to know about yourself, you can learn in 26.2 miles. It's the sheer joy of running cross country, and marathon is an epic phenomenal event in New York. So NYRR really has captured a lot of marathoners who participate every year. About 8 minutes to go and the crowds increasing by the moment. And look at the sea of people behind me. Oh my God. Ironically, the person who starts a race is not the same person who finishes. This experience will definitely remain encrypted in my heart with the sea of people behind me and the New York skyline. Oh, really, this is really astounding.
Virtual TCS Racing Marathon.
Running a marathon is kind of like coffee. The first time you drink it, you might not like it. It's bitter and leaves you a bad taste in your mouth, but you kind of like the way it makes you feel. However, after a few times, it starts to taste better, and then all of a sudden, you are hooked, and it's the new best part of waking up. It's important to know that at the end of the day, it's not the medals you remember. What you remember is the process, what you learn about yourself by challenging yourself, the experiences you share with other people, the honesty the training demands. Those are things nobody can take away from you. If you believe you can change, if you make it a habit, the change becomes real. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. And from my experience of a marathon run, which was a very short run actually, I found it so symbolic of life. You have to drive yourself to overcome the obstacles. You might feel that you can't, but then you find your inner strength and realize you are capable of so much more than you thought. Setting goals gives your life a meaning. The athletes are just about ready to embark on their special mission. So when I participated in the 2023 NYRR marathon for a short one, it was being a runner that mattered, not how fast or how far I could. The joy was in the act of running and in the journey, not in the destination. And I really thank my son for giving us the opportunity to run a short marathon. Gained a lot of insight. So best of luck to all the athletes who are going to have fun out there. And the grand finale starts. So the rush of adrenaline with the wind blowing and the phenomenal crowd. Oh my God. The noise is crazy out there and the people are so excited. Oh yes, so here we go, New York Road Runners. Staten Island often gets an unfair reputation as the forgotten borough of New York City. While yes, it is mostly a residential borough, Staten Island is packed with New York City history. And often some of the best views of New York City can be seen right from Staten Island. It also boasts more than 9,300 acres of parkland, giving it the nickname of the greenest borough. Actually, there is more to do on Staten Island than just taking the ferry to see the Statue of Liberty, though this iconic boat ride is on this list too. As New York City's least populated borough, the island feels like a small East Coast town, packed with history, museums, foodie hotspots, and green spaces. It's the perfect place to slow down and change scenery. Of all of New York City's boroughs, Staten Island is the most mysterious. Located 5 miles across New York Harbor from Manhattan, the island feels a world apart from the electric energy of the city. It isn't as famous as Harlem or popular as Brooklyn, but its diverse community and storied past give this secluded district a certain charm. So right now we are near the Supreme Court of New York, Richmond County. The Richmond County Courthouse is a 1919 municipal courthouse in the Civic Center of St. George on Staten Island. It serves Richmond County, which is coextensive with the borough of Staten Island. The neoclassical style courthouse is on Richmond Terrace next to Staten Island's Borough Hall. So you can ride on the Staten Island ferry for scenic views day and night. And take the Staten Island ferry at sunset for views as the sun gets behind the Statue of Liberty and Manhattan's skyscrapers. Even if you miss the sunset, the ferry ride is still a beautiful way to enjoy the scenery. The benefits and opportunities of running are available to anyone. You don't have to be born a natural athlete and you don't have to be uniquely gifted. A life-shaping experience is there for the taking, waiting right outside your door. And so here I am enjoying the fall, and fall is one of my favorite seasons. There is something about the shorter days, the crisp air, the falling leaves and pumpkin spice, everything that makes me want to dig out the jackets, sweaters, get out there and enjoy every moment. And more so, today along with the fall vibes, it is Bijoya Dashami and I am with my family. We were all ravenous after my son completed his half marathon, and white choice for a unique brunch was there at the Paris Baguette Bakery, including croissants of various types, breads, danishes, donuts, muffins, handcrafted pastries, baguette sandwiches, and of course, decadent desserts. It was certainly a unique way of celebrating our Bijoya Dashami, and actually, Bijoya Dashami vibes mean lots of fun, food and adda, embraces and enjoyment. And it's a time to indulge in some timeless favorites. Indeed, we are celebrating the sweet taste of hope that fills our life every moment. For the wise men, every day is a festival, said Plutarch. Now, it's hardly the rituals that I want to bring into perspective, especially it's the emotions of being a Bengali, a Kolkatan, and finally being in love with the kaleidoscopic life. And really, we enjoyed the Durga Puja vibes in USA 2024. And come Vijaya Dashami, and the vibrancy of bonding and harmony is really addictive. The anticipation and the subtle infusion of love and warmth into the moments we create for keepsake memories. Maybe this year our Dashami is not an ode to Fulko Luchi and Notun Gurer Payesh. Indeed, we had a drool-worthy time at Paris Baguette and Dunkin', and these bakeries are more than just places where flour and sugar come together. They are havens of warmth, comfort, and the delicious aromas that waft through the air. They hold the power to transport us back to childhood memories, evoke feelings and nostalgia, and create moments of sheer joy. So, we celebrate the artistry and passion that goes into crafting and also the marathon this Vijaya Dashami. It's also about outing the blatant disregard that we display regarding the environment. So, Durga Puja is all about positivity and totally dispelling the toxicity from our lives. For me, Durga Puja is actually signifying the demons stemming from our ignorance and dispelling the darkness. So, heralded as the triumph of good over evil, Durga Puja is the harbinger of hope and renewal and brings with it unmatchable levels of excitement. And there is no species in the world as crazy as the Bengalis regarding Durga Puja. So today my vlog about Durga Puja and my visit to the mission was really so exciting, so sublime, and so much full of happiness. Life is about the adventures you take and the memories you make, and the impulse to travel is one of the hopeful symptoms of life. So stay tuned as I'm going to take you for another exploration of New York City. All set for Little Island, Wall Street, and Broadway. Off we go. I love New York. It's a little bit of the whole world, and so when you are in New York, the whole world comes to you. And definitely somewhere between leaving and dreaming, there's New York. So getting ready to have a bite of the Big Apple. I'm going to visit Little Island, which is a new urban park, urban oasis where the public can really appreciate art and culture in the midst or in the heart of New York. So we decided to go by train from Rahway to Penn Station, and from Penn Station to World Trade Center. So queuing in Wall Street to see the Charging Bull, and the Charging Bull, also known as the Wall Street Bull or the Bowling Green Bull, is a bronze sculpture that symbolizes the American stock market, financial optimism and prosperity. The Charging Bull has become a universal symbol of the American stock market and a big business. It's also one of the most popular sights in New York City, and tourists travel from around the world to see the bronze beast, striking poses and snapping pictures in front of it. It makes one wonder, how did it become so famous? Most people visiting don't even know the story. Well, that's part of my job. And behind the Charging Bull, also called the Wall Street Bull, is a classic NYC dream story. The creator of the Charging Bull sculpture, Arturo Di Modica, is an Italian-American artist born in Sicily in 1941. He started sculpting as a teen and eventually moved to Florence, where he became well known throughout Italy for his work. In the 70s, like many artists before him, he came to New York. Drawn to the city's energy, D. Modica opened up a studio on Grand Street in modern day Soho. His work on the bull started after the stock market crash in 1987. D. Modica felt he owed something to Americans for accepting him all those years earlier and supporting his career as a sculptor. The hefty sculpture weighs over 7,000 pounds and stands 11 feet tall. Years of fame and popularity, the Charging Bull made headlines recently when Kristen Visbel's Fearless Girl sculpture was placed in front of it. The installation was done in celebration of International Women's Day on March 7, 2017. Much like the bull, the girl was a surprise to many New Yorkers who were not aware that she should be unveiled. The idea behind the statue is to promote female empowerment and encourage companies to recruit more women, particularly in leadership positions. So, after investing billions in the stock market, we are on our way to Little Island. Little Island is a true oasis of calm beauty in the heart of New York City, with unparalleled views, lush greenery, and captivating design. Little Island, a new free public park pier within the large Hudson River Park, opened to the public on May 21, 2021, providing New Yorkers and visitors from around the world with a unique green space unlike any other in New York City. With its innovative design, the components of the pier, nestled among more than 350 species of flowers, trees, and shrubs, include a 687-seat amphitheater and an intimate stage and launch space, along with dazzling views of other portions of Hudson River Park, New York City, and the Hudson River. So we are now about to discover this urban oasis and this little island in NYC transformed with light and greenery. Now, this visionary project, born from the desire to revitalize a decaying pier, has blossomed into a mesmerizing oasis that seamlessly blends nature, art, and technology. At its core lies a carefully crafted lighting design, a masterpiece in its own right, illuminating pathways, sculptures, and amphitheaters while preserving the island's natural beauty and sustainability ethos. As dusk descends upon the city, Little Island comes alive with a subtle interplay of light and shadow. And now we are visiting the New York City Roastery, the Starbucks Reserve Roastery, which brings the great passion for coffee to the greatest city in the world. So, though their roots lie in Seattle, the Starbucks Reserve Roastery, in search for the extraordinary, drew to New York City, the kinetic crossroads of the world, and opened in December 2018, the New York Roastery, which brings their great passion for coffee to the greatest city in the world. So, combining the art and craft of coffee in an immersive and thoughtfully designed environment, this one-of-a-kind space features an impressive mix of bars and custom details. So take a closer look with me. The passion for craft innovation and discovery comes to life here in an ever evolving menu of coffee, cocktails, and food, and witness the art, science, and theater of coffee craft and artisanal baking. Finally, we reached the Broadway Theatre to watch the epic show of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Broadway theatre or Broadway shows is a theatre genre that consists of the theatrical performances presented in 41 professional theatres, each with 500 or more seats in the Theatre District and Lincoln Center along Broadway in Midtown Manhattan, New York City. So, what makes Broadway so special? With the unique ambience, diverse culture, countless attractions, the New York Broadway Theatre District is truly an experience not to miss out on. The state of the art stagecraft and sound, the top tier performances, creative teams, and designers work on every aspect of a show. Broadway shows are known for their high energy performances, elaborate sets and costumes, and feature incredible acting. These Broadway shows are a staple of New York City culture. For first time visitors to the city, seeing a Broadway show is a must.